we all know that Gilbert and his MMQB's teammates, they do a great job over there at SI, filling you in with all the great stuff. We've had most of Gilbert's co-workers on the show. There's one good friend that we're still missing, but I don't know if Gilbert's going to want to have him on or not. The NFL's worst offseason moves, they debated that. And let's go over some of the worst moves mentioned by them. And we'll start off with Gilbert. So Gilbert said the worst move was the Dallas Cowboys sticking with Mike McCarthy. So let's have Gilbert give the context, and then I'll give you my thoughts on that.
Okay. I don't know what that was. But Fernando, you got to let me have something. I was going to say, maybe it was you or me.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me.
Okay. Okay.
In the words of Shrek, donkey, if it was me, you'd be dead.
There you go. No. But let me get one more bad offseason move after I give you this one, because I already wrote it for SI, but to kind of give you some context here. Yeah, the Cowboys stuck with Mike McCarthy when Bill Belichick was out there. And before Jim Harbaugh went to the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh could have been available. Mike Vrabel could have been available. And Cowboys, yeah, you've done a good job of winning games in the regular season. You know, you won the NFC East. Mike McCarthy's Texas Coast offense did pretty well, but who gives a crap? I don't know if the bleep button is ready. Who gives a crap about the Cowboys and what they do in the regular season after the turn of the century? From whatever 1997, the last time you made an NFC title game, you've done nothing in the postseason. You know, we haven't gotten that far. You've won some NFC East titles, you've won in the regular season, but enough is enough. Go win the whole damn thing, or at least win 2 games in the playoffs to get to the NFC title game. And you could have done it with Bill Belichick, and you didn't do it. And Jerry Jones, I get it. You want to be a little patient there, but you haven't even re-signed your coach to another extension. When you have a lame duck coach, Fernando, that rarely goes well, and you might have a lame duck quarterback in Dak Prescott. So you got all make or break seasons for Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. That's not going to go well. So why are you waiting for to give these guys one more chance when you're already thinking about in the back of your mind, Bill Belichick's out there who might turn 73, 74, I forget. Why are you waiting a year? Just do it right now, and they didn't do it.
You have good defensive players on that side. You have some good offensive players. So, yeah, why are you not doing it? And Gilbert, even if you wanted to go, let's just say another route, if you wanted to go with an offensive mind, Ben Johnson was sitting right there for you. So Mimsy says, no lies detected. On top of all that, they've been super passive in free agency. Well, also, Mimsy, they don't have any money. That's the thing. And they have to pay Dak. And they have to pay CD Lamb. And they have to pay Micah Parsons. And
they lost their DC, Dan Quinn, who did a good job.
Exactly. So, and they brought in Mike Zimmer, and that's why, if you remember, Eric Kendricks was going to go to another team.
Oh, yeah,
and
the 49ers.
49ers, and he ended up going to the Dallas Cowboys, and that was their one free agent move this season. And then they lost their center to the Commanders. So, yeah, so I agree with you. I think that's a terrible move, because who's to say that next offseason, once you fire, because it's inevitable. It's coming. They're going to fire Mike McCarthy after this season. And then it's going to be the question of what's going to happen. What's going to happen with the offense, Dak Prescott, all those guys. If I'm the Cowboys, I've said it before, at this point, I mean, I might keep Micah and I might keep CD, and I'd get rid of Dak. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where you need to try something new. The same thing hasn't worked. At one point, you had 1,000-yard Ezekiel Elliott, you had 1,000-yard Des Bryant, and now CD Lamb. You've had playmakers on defense, and you still haven't gotten it done. So I agree with you. I think they should have fired Mike McCarthy. They should have given it another chance, but maybe this is the Cowboys' way of saying, hey, you know what? After the season, we can get rid of both and start over with a new quarterback and a new head coach.
I think they're going to cave.
I think they're going to keep
training camp's going to roll around. Yeah. They're going to give him a new deal.
I think they're going to. Yeah, I think they're going to pay him. I don't think Jerry Jones has the huevos to cut or to get rid of Dak. The thing is, Jerry gets too personal with these guys. And you remember with Tony Romo, everybody's like, Tony Romo's not it. He's a choke artist. He's not that good. You should get rid of him. And he didn't. And then he waited until they waited until the wheels fell off. Thier says, bold prediction, Cowboys will trade for Purdy and give up 2 first-round draft picks. Hell, I don't know if I'd do that.
Give him back Trey Lance. Might as well.
But Gilbert, I agree with you. And I already told you, Gilbert, you get rid of Dak, you bring in Shador, and you coach Prime. And I told you, Bruce Feldman said Feldman. He said that on Colin Cowherd's show. He's like, hey, don't be surprised. And I'm like, dang, if that really happened,
you could get a first round pick for Dak Prescott. I'll say that. That's high praise for the guy.
Yeah.
There's
going to be teams like if I told you, if the Jets, if they spiral and Aaron Rodgers like, you know what, I want to move on. I want to go do whatever I'm doing on that. I could see the Jets as one of those teams where they're like, hey, we have a lot of playmakers. We got some players over here. Let's do there's going to be some other teams, but I was going to say maybe Dan Quinn's like, hey, you know what? Let's bring him in here. But and then he
drafted a quarterback.
Yeah. Okay. But all right, Gilbert, let's go now with Matt Verderam.
You got it right.
Verderam. Okay, cool. He said the Atlanta Falcons drafting Michael Penix. So I have no context behind this. Like I told you guys after the draft, I was actually okay with it.
Oh, you were actually?
You're
one of the few people in the whole damn country that said that.
I understand the frustration from people, but like I said, you just don't know what you're going to get from Kirk Cousins. The only problem that you're doing is you're backing yourself into a corner, and if Kirk Cousins starts crapping it, then you're going to hear Atlanta go, Penix. We want Penix. Remember, and then this is completely different. I know they're both left-handed, but this is completely different, obviously. When Tim Tebow was with the Denver Broncos, got drafted by the Broncos, and Kyle Orton would not play well, Tebow. So I get it. But I would have to, but I'm actually one of those that I actually don't mind it. I think obviously you could have gotten a defensive player. There was a lot of guys. What's up, DJ Fono? Thank you so much for jumping in here. If you have any questions or anything, please, folks, we will answer them. We're just going through right now what Gilbert and his coworkers over at the MMQB wrote as the worst offseason moves. But like I said, Gilbert, I don't know. I don't know how I know you felt like it was a bad move as well. Yeah. But to say the worst move, because what if 2 years down? Remember, everybody said that the Commanders double dip, or when they were Washington, when they double dipped and they drafted RG3 and then they got Kirk Cousins. Everybody's like, why are they drafting another quarterback?
You're right.
That ended up being a smart move. Here, we don't know yet. I think we need to wait and see what happens, because what if Kirk just gets hurt? And I know it's what's happening right now, and obviously nobody looks down the line or anything like that. But what if they end up turning it around and Penix ends up being the guy for them, and Atlanta's gonna look like a very smart team. But I did see the Ryan Poles one, the video, Gilbert. I don't know if you saw that, where he's sitting there and he's like, what just happened? Like they really just drafted a quarterback. So I thought that was funny. But you go ahead, Gilbert.
Yeah, I see the low bar here, so hopefully it's okay for me to talk here. But I want to think about this, and I haven't think about it. I've been a little harsher with here. It's just like, why do you pay Kirk Cousins $100 million guaranteed? Like, I get if you don't get Kirk Cousins to sign, then you become obvious destination for quarterback, right? Somebody could jump you, and then you lose Michael Penix Jr. Like the stories that are coming out of Atlanta, they really, really love Michael Penix Jr., where they want it to become top secret. So if you don't have a quarterback, that say you're the Raiders or the Broncos who didn't have a legitimate franchise quarterback, you're an obvious destination for a quarterback. So maybe the Broncos and the Raiders could have jumped them. I get that whole point, but $90 million to commit to Kirk Cousins, it just seems like a lot. And I also like the Cousins fit there, because I like Zach Robinson. I like Raheem Morris. It came from the Sean McVay, the tree. Why not get another piece to help out Kirk Cousins? Why not go all in? Instead, you're making your future franchise quarterback wait 2 or 3 years. And I like Penix Jr., but he's probably the most ready quarterback prospect, because he was like a super senior 5th year, 6th year guy, and he balled out in the playoffs and the season at Washington. Why are you making the guy wait? He's 24. He's 20. I forget the age. 23, 24. And then you're losing those years, the rookie contract years. So I don't know. Like you look at the Falcons roster, they could use a number 2 behind Drake London. Is Drake London even a number 1? I'm not sure. Are you convinced that Kyle Pitts is gonna just all of a sudden be Kyle Pitts because you have Kirk Cousins and a new coaching staff? I don't know. Are you convinced that Bijan is gonna be that guy? I'm kind of feel the most confident about Bijan, but Drake and Kyle not so much. And then there's no depth behind the guys. Yeah, you got Rondale Moore, you got Darnell Mooney, but they're not like for sure guys, right? They're talented, but they're not the guys there. And then you have no edge rushers on the defense. I like Justin Bates. I like AJ Terrell. I like the moves they've been making there defensively, and I like Raheem Morris being the coach there. You got no edge rushers. I don't think you can name an edge rusher. Like they got Grady Jarrett, but he's like on year 12, 10. I don't know. So they missed an opportunity to get better now because I like the roster and that coaching staff. I think they blew an opportunity.
I completely no, and I do agree with that. But real quick, DJ Fono goes, I'm just here to support and let the world know that I love the Rams, chicken nuggets, and 40 ounces caguamas. That is freaking hilarious.
From where though? Which chicken nuggets? Are we talking McDonald's or are we getting fancy here?
DJ Fono, by the way, this isn't a speed dating or anything like that. Like you just kind of gave your bio there, but
I was gonna say it sounds like a good date, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a great guy. He also put that he can't wait for the season. Yeah, no, the season's almost here, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see how both or how the Rams do this year, especially after last year kind of taking everybody in a sense by surprise. The only thing that can help them is that Raheem Morris has been cooking without primetime edge rushers for a while. That is true. I do agree with that.
We need a sound drop, Victor, of Dan saying Moy 42's full name there.
Yeah. But oh man, I can't wait to see how all this unravels. I know it's going to be interesting. And then last but not least, I'm going to mix these two together because Connor and Albert basically did the same thing, and it's what Gilbert said a little bit ago. No team hiring Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel, and I have to agree with. See, that's my biggest thing, especially because Moy loves that one. But especially because it's kind of like what Julian Edelman said the other day. Some teams just don't want to win. And that's evident. I mean, you want to win, but your style. Teams are afraid, and owners are afraid. I know in the NBA they say governors. Owners are afraid to kind of give up the keys and say, "Hey, maybe I'm too drunk to drive. Here you go. You drive." And I feel like, in a sense, Dean Spanos did that with the Chargers and said, "Jim, you drive. This is all you." But it's funny, DJ Fono. I was just at Costco. And I saw those dinosaur chicken nuggets. They didn't have them for. They had my bad. They had them there for sampling or whatever, and they were still cold, so I couldn't go up and grab one.
You're brave, DJ.
Yeah. Those dino chicken nuggets are
they're good? I don't know. I thought they're like the ones you take from. I shouldn't say this joke, but like you go on a date and the person you're dating happens to have a kid, and you go eat them.
Oh yeah. You grab their fruit snacks and you grab all that stuff. Yeah, no, I completely agree. But just a theory. He's coming up after this segment, so just stay tight. But I definitely think that they all dropped the ball, especially because what you heard is that they were a little bit too overpowering. And I'm sure, like, in a sense, Bill Belichick's an alpha, Mike Vrabel's an alpha. Mike Vrabel's the kind of coach that you'd be worried more about him punching a player in the face than you would him saying something wrong or something like that. But I definitely think that Atlanta and I think Atlanta did a great job hiring Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson. I think those have been great. But at the same time, you could have had Bill Belichick or Mike Vrabel, and it's just crazy that he's with the Cleveland Browns of all teams. And they just gave their head coach an extension, right? Okay, so it's not like they brought him in just as like, oh, hey, if we have to kick this fool to the curb, we bring him in. But Mike Vrabel just wanted to coach Herbert, and if the Eagles fire Sirianni, watch out. It's funny. I just saw a clip the other day of Ben Johnson talking about it, and it sounded like that's where he wanted to go too. And that's why he decided. Wow. Yeah. He wanted to go to the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
He liked that scenario, and
that was a prime location because you have the freaking quarterback there.
Well, and it's funny. I asked the Chargers wide receivers coach Sanjay Lal. He's been in the league for a lot of years. I'm like, what attracted you to come here? He's like, the quarterback. He's like, are you kidding? Like, I think that's why everybody wanted this job. And I was like, oh wow. And so I'm like, a wide receivers coach saying that's why he wanted the job.
Hey, it's job security, man. Yeah, better chance of winning.
And it's not just that, Gilbert. It catapults you into the possibilities of. Remember, after Staley's first year, there were a couple of coaches, and that was a 9-8 year that got head coaching job interviews and stuff. So you just never know. But yeah, going back to that, I just think it's crazy that they didn't hire either one of them. Will they come back? I don't know. No, Mike Vrabel will. But Bill Belichick, he did a really good job on Pat McAfee's show. He's done a really good job with some other stuff. He may just turn into a TV analyst and say, you know what? I made my mark. Yeah, Don Shula's all-time wins. That's awesome. But maybe I just relax and kind of take it easy and have fun with this. So, and you've seen him. You've seen him at Washington, the Cougars. You've seen him, not with Cougars, at the Washington Cougars, where his son coaches. And you've seen him at other places. So I could definitely see him kind of sticking with that. But Mimsy says, Bill Belichick, I understand because of the recent events coming to light and him also wanting to be the GM. Mike Vrabel, though, completely blows my mind. Yeah, no, I and the thing is, Bill Belichick's always done it, so that's why. And I understand that Bill Belichick's last draft, the last good draft he had was 2013. The rest of them have been very questionable, but yeah, they still kept on winning. So that's incredible. Bill Belichick was better at recycling talent that other teams didn't want. Like I remember Kyle Van Noy told me, nobody really wanted me at one point, and then the Patriots traded for me, and Bill Belichick said, you've been used in a different way. We need to use you this way. And you're like, oh, wow, okay. And that's when Kyle Van Noy started coming out, and he played really well under the Patriots. So that's what they've always done. And I understand it. So, yeah, I agree with both Connor and Albert.
Yeah, I'll give Albert Breer the point here because I didn't think about this because a lot of these owners talk to each other. And I'm sure, Robert Kraft was saying, you know what? Yeah, Bill Belichick, he's a little difficult. He's a lot to kind of deal with. I don't know if you should do it. Same thing, Mike Vrabel. He's a little tough guy, kind of stubborn ways, has his own way. And I think Albert pointed out, well, that tells you owners are talking to the wrong people. Owners are just talking to people, with one agenda and one mindset. Like, talk to a whole variety of people to kind of get both sides. And also, like, the people you're talking to in your building, and you're asking, hey, what do you think about me bringing Bill Belichick? Those people might have an agenda saying, well, I don't want to get fired if Bill comes in. I don't want to deal with the hard-ass Mike Vrabel. So all these people in the building are saying, you know what, maybe you shouldn't do it. Talk to people who are not owners, people in your building, outside, maybe like, from a friend of a friend about Bill Belichick. It's like a real job interview. And I don't think these teams did that. And with the whole Bill Belichick, I guess, issue, I guess age was an issue for them. And I've been watching. Yes, I've been watching Suits. Don't get in trouble. Don't get sued, NFL, with Bill Belichick. So I get that. But like Mimsy said, the Mike Vrabel thing, I don't get it. This, like, age is not even a factor. Yeah, he's a hard ass, but you need that. Jim Harbaugh's a hard ass. You need that sometimes. So I don't understand what's going on. Hard ass, dragging ass, grab ass. Boom.
What's up, Nancy? How are you doing? Adir, he's coming up pretty soon. We're getting ready to present him. Moy is wondering if you're going to be at Rams mini camp.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by either tomorrow or Wednesday. Tomorrow, and it's a 2-day camp, or maybe the Rams do things kind of weird.
It was today and tomorrow, no,
or maybe I missed it. No, it's tomorrow and Wednesday, but I guess only one's open to the public. I mean, to the media, and then the other one's closed doors. So, and then the one from Tuesday, I don't think they're gonna do much. So the Rams like to do things differently.
I think
like
Eric told me to walk through.
Yeah, they have no rookie mini camp. They also kind of have like another half-ass word, mandatory mini camp, and then they get to it for training camp.
All right, interesting.
And it's weird that some teams like to do it last week, and some teams like to do it in the middle of June.
I asked, do you think Jim is gonna want to do the whole? Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, because Brandon sometimes would give him the no, I know, but Brandon would give him like the last day of, and would just cut it, and they're like, no,
they have 3 days, no.
They have 3 days, yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it'll definitely be interesting. But